Apple has apparently decided that when it finally releases its first foldable iPhone, it wants to make a splash by ordering enough screens to make a lot of waves. According to a now deleted report from ET News, Apple's placed an order for 22 million OLED panels from Samsung Display for the foldable iPhone. Yes, 22 million. That's a number so big it makes the supply chain blush. ET News claims that Samsung plans to mass produce 11 million inward folding OLED displays for Apple, plus 11 million external displays. With Samsung as the exclusive supplier, that implies Apple's roughly aiming for 10 million finished devices, since component yields are never perfect. That's over 30% higher than initial industry estimates, which had expected 6 to 8 million units. Essentially, Apple's saying, we're not dipping a toe in foldables, we're cannonballing. And yes, a splash will be very expensive, just like every Apple cannonball ever. The foldable is expected to feature book-style inward folds with a 7.58-inch inner display and a 5.35-inch external display, along with a fancy new hinge and special materials designed to minimize the infamous crease. Apple's reportedly using a method called color filter on encapsulation, or COE, which integrates a polarizer directly into the OLED stack. That reduces thickness and also boosts brightness, so the screen should be thin, bright, and fingers crossed, free of Dorito-like creases. Oh, and there's also talk of an under-display camera, which would finally give the internal display a true full-screen look without punch or interrupting your TikTok scroll. So that's a big picture. Apple's aiming to hit the market with a foldable that's essentially a mini iPad when open, but still fits in your pocket. And it's apparently not messing around with numbers. 10 million units suggest Apple believes this first generation foldable will actually sell. But the foldable may also arrive missing something rather important, at least to some continents, the SIM card slots. Yes, the reports from China suggest Apple is going full eSIM-only. Bold, especially in China, where people love swapping SIMs all the time. Going eSIM-only there is basically showing up to a Formula 1 race on a bicycle and saying, trust me, it'll be fine. Apple has dabbled in eSIM-only territory before with the iPhone Air, which required an actual store visit to activate. So doing the same with a foldable? Carrier Corporation will have to be next level. Elsewhere, the lack of a physical SIM won't be as big of a deal in countries like the US, for example. Apple's already gone eSIM only since the iPhone 14. And if this change means Apple can shoehorn a bigger battery inside, I'm all for it here in the UK as well. Because let's be honest, forget color options or camera megapixels. If your phone dies midday, nothing else matters. If you're enjoying this breakdown so far, hit subscribe and tap the hype button now. It genuinely helps a small channel like mine get this information in front of more Apple fans and keeps me motivated to dig up leaks, supply chain intel, and prototype rumors just for you guys. Now let's talk about the stuff that really matters. Apple's foldable could be crease-free, a first for any foldable phone. According to multiple supply chain leaks, including UDN, Apple's in the engineering validation phase, meaning the prototypes are no longer experimental art projects, but devices being ready for mass production. They've reportedly redesigned the hinge with liquid metal components, slimmed the device down, and crafted the lamination and materials entirely in-house. If true, this would finally deliver a foldable that doesn't make your pocket look like it survived a wrestling match. But then of course comes the financial slap. Pricing estimates have the iPhone Folds around $2,399. Previous guesses range from $1,800 to $2,500, so firmly in your credit card might spontaneously combust territory. Minchiko still thinks $2,000 to $2,500 is realistic, while Gurman expects it to be around $2,000. Either way, Apple's clearly pushing for Halo product status, expensive, attention-grabbing, and designed to push the industry forwards, even if most of us will just watch from afar. Premium materials, like the hinge, titanium and aluminium hybrid frame, the advanced OLEDs, are a big reason for that price, but considering Apple's preparing to make 10 million of these things, it seems there are enough people with better financial discipline than me. Personally, I'm torn. Do I justify it as a business investment, or do I just accept that my bank account can't handle Apple ambition in 2026? And speaking of displays, the inner screen is reportedly 7.8 inches, the external 5.5 inches, both LTPO OLED with 120Hz ProMotion. Imagine an iPad mini that folds into your pocket without the guilt of buying a second device. Thickness is expected to hover around 4.5mm when unfolded, made possible by Apple's mad scientist approach to materials. Titanium gives rigidity, aluminium keeps weight down, and Apple gets to call it something dramatic like aerospace-grade dual metal precision fusion structure. Classic Apple marketing flourish. Touch ID returns on the side button because Face ID apparently doesn't fit into this super slim form factor. Retro vibes, anyone? Expect a slow motion unlock animation and a marketing line reading Touch ID reimagined. Cameras include a 24MP on-display front camera, a dual 14MP rear setup wide and ultra wide, and a punch-hole front camera. Apple's reportedly using 6 plastic lens elements to improve sharpness. For context, most foldables currently use 4 to 8MP on-display cameras that produce results like Vaseline got trapped under your lens. So Apple pushing 24MP is bonkers. Of course, there will be compromises. For example, no optical image stabilization with the inner camera to maintain the slim profile. Battery-wise, we're looking at something monstrous, 5,400 to 5,800 mAh. That would surpass the iPhone 17 Pro Max and Galaxy Z Fold 7. Apple's dual-cell design paired with a 16nm display driver and the A20 chipset should make battery life surprisingly respectable for a foldable. The software on this thing will apparently be iPadOS, with multitasking, split view, floating windows, and proper scaling. The foldable could theoretically replace both an iPhone and an iPad mini, making it a productivity dream for creators, students, or anyone juggling apps, scripts, research, and scrolling simultaneously. Yes, the price is painful. $2,399 is MacBook Pro money, but Apple clearly wants it to be a Halo product, something that pushes boundaries, even if only a fraction of users buy it. If the crease problem is solved, the hinge works flawlessly, the titanium-aluminium frame is as light as it is strong, and the on-display camera is as sharp as it sounds, this could finally make foldables mainstream by 2027. And I want that to be the case because if this becomes mainstream, the tech should also slowly become more accessible and cheaper for the masses to afford. That's the bigger picture, guys. If Apple manages to make a foldable that's reliable, functional, and crease-free, it could set a benchmark for the entire industry. That also means other manufacturers might follow, prices could gradually drop, and foldables might actually become a practical option rather than a luxury curiosity. For anyone who's been watching this space, that's a moment where excitement meets accessibility, and it's exactly why I'm rooting for Apple to get it right. At the end of the day, Apple's foldable could very well be the first device that proves first generation doesn't have to mean experimental flaws. It could actually be polished, functional, and exciting. And if it is, by autumn 2026, we could finally have a foldable gadget that's not just a look what I can do gadget, but a device people actually genuinely want to use every day. So here's my question to you guys. Would you drop $2,399 on Apple's first foldable iPhone, or would you wait for round 2 when the price becomes less painful and the hinge perfected? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'm genuinely curious because I'm still torn myself, and this might be the one Apple product I struggle to rationalize financially, but I'm excited for the form factor. Anyway, that's the latest on Apple's first foldable iPhone. It's ambitious, expensive, and technically fascinating, and whether it becomes a new standard or just a halo for Apple's engineering prowess, it's one of the most exciting iPhones we've seen in years. So to catch every leak, report, and update as it happens, subscribe and tap the hype button now, and let me know in the comments, is this a must buy for you, or just a look what Apple made this time kind of moment? Because either way, I'll be covering it, obsessing over it, and sharing every detail right here.